The Complete Fighter Podcast.
We didn't mention Cris Cyborg, did we?
No, we can quickly just mention it. As you said.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead then. She said to what she said in an interview with Low Kick MMA, Sam.
Yeah, so basically she said that she was looking at doing a cross-promotional fight between her and Amanda Nunes, and that Scott Coker was interested. Obviously, they've done their cross-promotional work with Ryzen before, but listen, it's never going to happen ever. And the UFC is too big a brand, and they don't need to work with Bellator whatsoever to put on big fights. It's not going to happen. And listen, Dana White's at the helm of the UFC. He doesn't take kindly to people who've moved on to Bellator for more money, or people saying that Bellator treat their fighters better than he does and that sort of thing. So he's not going to do business with them at all. It's not going to happen.
I would argue that fight doesn't sell as well as Cris Cyborg maybe narcissistically thinks it will, due to the fact that Nunes just smashed her up in the first fight, just like Nunes did with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the thing is as well. Cyborg is arguably facing a lot lesser competition as well in Bellator, so she's not going to be the best prepared for going into a rematch either. So, I don't think it's a good fight, and it's not going to happen anyway. There's going to be no cross promotion between Bellator and the UFC.
I would say, just actually finishing off on that, that one of the reasons it won't happen as well is because Cris Cyborg is one of the many fighters that Dana White had a very bad relationship with, or has a very bad relationship with. Secondly, as well, one of the reasons why Dana White terminated Cris Cyborg's UFC contract is due to the fact that she only wanted takeover fights, and at the time she didn't want the rematch while she's in the UFC with Amanda Nunes. Is that correct?
Sorry, say that last bit again.
That her and Dana, when she was with the UFC, were even talking about. We're talking about the possibility of a rematch with Amanda Nunes, but he said she didn't want it, and instead she just wanted takeover fights.
Yeah, I think that he wanted it more or less right away, whereas she wanted 2 or 3 fights before she went back into it, and she also wanted more money as well, which is probably the real breaking factor behind it. But no, listen, it's not going to happen. There are 2 different promotions. Cyborg won't be back in the UFC again. Maybe in the future Nunes ends up in Bellator, who knows? But that's the only way I see that fight happen.